So I do not know whether I have anything that is useful to add. But let me just say briefly several things. First, I just want to say that Kenya chose the path of democracy and ratified that choice in the 2010 Constitution. That choice was about an open government, an accountable government, and a democratic state. But as you all know, the performance of democracy is an experiment, and it's difficult. But it is the best form of government, as Winston Churchill said, except for all the others. In the performance of democracy, one of the key predicates is the rights to speech, to assemble, and to petition. In our Constitution, that particular predicate is in Article 37. Since the passage of the 2010 Constitution, our democratic space has expanded, and with it, a penumbra of the rights by the people to petition, to demonstrate, and to hold their government accountable. For those of you who have been in Nairobi for the last 2 years, you saw in particular in 2024 and 2025, the earlier part of this year, demonstrations in Nairobi responding to particular government policies. Regrettably, some of those protests turned violent, resulting in some fatalities and some injuries of our citizens. That is why the President, in responding to those outcomes, appointed a panel of experts to design a framework for the compensation of victims of riots and protests, and appointed me as a chairperson of that panel. The work of that panel, which is diverse, it brings in highly qualified Kenyans, including lawyers, doctors, economists, and others, is to identify, to verify, and to determine the quantum for that compensation for victims of riots and protests. It's a process that will be transparent and open. It is victim-centered, and it will be based upon public participation. We intend to conclude our work within a limited time, which is 120 days, in which we hopefully will finish the exercise. I just want to say that in addition to compensation, my panel is going to address issues of legislative reform. There's some lacuna in our laws, and especially on the question of protest, to bring to life the scope of Article 37. We also realize that our police, of course, as the Prime Cabinet Secretary has pointed out, has performed very well in Haiti. But we realize that there are still some challenges with our police, and therefore we shall be recommending a reform agenda for our police to change the culture of policing so that when demonstrators and police come into conflict, that the kinds of outcomes that we've seen the last year and a half do not happen. We shall also be recommending, where necessary, the prosecution of any police officers who may have acted in excess of their powers. We view this particular exercise as designed to open a new leaf, turn a new chapter in our culture of policing, so that we can more effectively protect and enhance our democracy. So I thank you very much. Thank you so much.